everybody. Welcome to Movies and the Goodwill Towards Fellow Mancave. If you cannot tell, we've got the big guy here. We've got the halls are decked. It's our Christmas episode. Yeah. Hooray! Woo! So what we've got for you today is our top 5 Christmas movies. Warning, this is our opinions. These are not the 5 maybe greatest Christmas movies of all time.
Yep.
These are our favorites. And Christmas is especially tough because, you know, it's so sentimental to what you watched as a kid type of deal.
Yep.
So they might not all be good movies. It's just the movies you watch that make you feel like this is Christmas.
There you go.
And another warning, we had a discussion. I consider Die Hard to be a Christmas movie. But to give this episode a more Christmassy feel, we've left off
Die Hard.
Yeah. But if that, you know, were to be in the Christmas list, it
honorable
would be very
mention.
close.
It's an honorable mention here.
Absolutely.
You want to start out?
Yeah, I can start this time. My number 5 Christmas movie is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation with Chevy Chase.
It's a very good movie.
It's one of those ones you kind of saw as a kid. We didn't have it, but it's on TV every year. And there's just certain scenes in it. You know, the movie as a whole maybe isn't great.
Right.
But when the lights are turning on in his house and he can't figure out it's the light switch.
Yep.
More importantly, when I was a kid, watching him go down in that saucer that he greased up and that sledding scene, and it just goes like a million miles an hour.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to do that so bad, so I wanted to watch that scene every year.
Mine will have to be number 5 is Jim Carrey's The Grinch. Surprised myself at how low that ended up becoming. But I enjoyed the movie. Jim Carrey was the perfect role for it.
Agreed.
The one downside to it is that dang song, Where Are You Christmas?
Oh, that is so bad.
But it's an earworm. Like, it just sits there, and it's like in your head. But, it was Ron Howard, and they did a great job of bringing Dr. Seuss to live action. Like, the people look like Whoville, and, like, the city looks like Whoville. The Grinch looks like the Grinch. And, yeah.
Very
times.
funny movie. Very funny. It
Very good.
narrowly missed my list. I wanted to put it on there. I do like it a lot. And it just got beat out. But I agree. Jim Carrey was amazing.
Yeah.
And it's funny. I still laugh at all the jokes.
Yep.
Good stuff.
Good stuff.
My number 4 is kind of along those lines, I feel. It was very similar. I compared the two. Is Elf with Will Ferrell. A newer Christmas edition. I think back to the first time I watched it.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely hilarious.
Definitely.
I mean, great Christmas movie. I think the reason it might be so low on my list is just maybe I'm a little sick of it. I mean, it is so quoted around Christmas time.
It is, and USA Network plays it back to back to back to back.
Well, I don't have a problem with that. I'm not going to watch it 20 times in a row. But my problem is, the quotes are everywhere. You know,
Good quotes.
you have a long belch, and then you say,
Did you hear that? Yeah.
You answer the phone, Buddy the Elf. What's your favorite color?
You ask if there's sugar and syrup.
Yeah, but you do it all year round, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if the jokes have gotten stale, or I don't know. But it's still, I really, really enjoy it. It's a great, great new addition to Christmas classics.
That's a good way of putting it. My number 4, and I know you're going to hate me about this. They're likely going to hate me for this. Number 4 is Home Alone. Not as high as most people would have it, I imagine. In our age, anyway. But going back to what's good about it, is it's Home Alone. Nostalgia about it. Macaulay Culkin was perfect in it. It was before he got all psycho.
Weird.
Yeah. And just Joe Pesci and...
Daniel Stern.
Thank you. I always get Stern, but never Dan.
I almost said Howard Stern, and that was not, that was
one-
not correct. Howard
it's
Stern is
totally
not
different movie.
No, it's Daniel Stern.
Everything is perfect in that movie, as far as comedy wise, and I believe it was Howard Hughes.
John Hughes.
John. Who's Howard Hughes?
That's the
Pilot.
airplane guy.
There you go.
Yeah.
John Hughes, Breakfast Club, all those movies.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing writer, director, excellent movie.
Very, very good movie. What are we up to? 3?
3.
My number 3, I wanted to include some form of A Christmas Carol in my list.
Yes.
And for me, that movie ended up being Scrooged with Bill Murray. Anybody who watches this show on a regular basis knows that Bill Murray is the man.
Mm-hmm.
I love him.
keep going.
Telling of a Christmas Carol, you know, it's such a classic Christmas story, you know, teaching you about Christmas spirit. You know, you're talking about you being a jerk and greedy and, you know, where you're going to end up. And you got to change your life around and be generous and grateful for the season and everything that you have. And, you know, if you can add in that comedy factor into it, all the better. That's one that doesn't take me to nostalgia. I didn't see that one too recently, so it's just that good of a movie that it makes my list. It's very, very good to enjoy as an adult. It kind of takes place in that corporate 80s, early 90s, you know, so it's not really something that you feel today, but you can look back and, you know, you get the gist of it.
And I think we've talked about it maybe in our Bill Murray episode, but and I didn't look up the girl's name, but that annoying squeaky girl, she's in there, and usually when she's in something, it's comedy gold. Yeah. So
I like the gruff taxi cab driver very much as well.
Yeah. Number 3 for me, I have the trilogy, the Santa Claus trilogy. Rarely can you find a movie like that where it's kind of, you know, family-friendly, kiddie, comedy, goofy, where, like, the whole trilogy is good. Even Home Alone. Home Alone 3 and 4 and 10, whatever, like, awful. But I really enjoyed all 3 Santa Claus movies. You know, the first one is obviously Tim Allen. All 3 are Tim Allen. But, you know, he becomes a Santa Claus and whatever. And then, like, the second one is the Mrs. Claus, so he gets married. And, you know, and then the third one is the Escape Claus. And so it's like, I don't know. I thought they did a really good job. And Martin Short is in the third one. Can't go wrong with Martin Short.
Good to see him still acting.
Yeah.
Getting a role from time to time.
Plus
I've only ever seen the first one. And I like it, and it's got the nostalgia factor that I'd seen it when I was about the right age for it.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the elves in that one. I thought they were really cool.
Yeah, yeah. And that's the thing is I saw the third one probably 2 years ago. So, I mean, I'm getting up there in age, and yeah, it's very good. So.
Are you ready? On to number 2?
Yes, sir.
My number 2 is A Christmas Story. The first time I remember seeing it was in elementary school. Why we watched elementary school, I have no idea. It did not have any form of learning in it.
No, you'll shoot your eye out.
Yeah, maybe that's what it's teaching. It's teaching you gun safety.
Yeah.
That's true. Every element is so quirky and fun. You know, things that wouldn't apply to Christmas. Like that lamp has nothing to do with Christmas.
Oh, no.
But it fits in the movie perfectly. The little dream sequences when he's got his gun and he's fighting off the burglars. Yeah. It's just, you know, everything. It's projecting your imagination. You know, that's the kind of stuff you imagine when you're a kid. I'm gonna get this BB gun, and as an adult, you know, it's just a BB gun. But as a kid, you're like, I'll take on 30 bad guys. You know, I'll be John Wayne and Clint Eastwood and do all this stuff with it. And super duper.
Plus, you could have watched it so you don't lick, you know, the poles at recess.
That's learning also. Yeah, very true.
All sorts of education.
It got a little, like in the Chinese restaurant, maybe far racist a little bit there at the end. But it took place like in the 50s, so, you know, it was kind of...
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah.
But yes. I'm just going to go ahead and spoil my top 2. That one is not on my list. Right. My number 2 was on your list already, and that was Scrooged with Bill Murray. You had mentioned that you had just only recently saw that movie. That one was one that I had seen when I was a kid. We had HBO growing up, so I caught that movie, and ever since then, it's been one of my favorite Christmas Carol, you know, stories.
Adaptations.
Yeah, exactly. There's that, and then there's the Muppet Christmas Carol. I really like that one.
It was between the two of which Christmas Carol I liked better, and I just kept going back to Scrooge as much as I love the Muppet Christmas Carol, which is fantastic.
Yeah, so it's like you're going between Michael Caine or Bill Murray.
Yeah,
it's really what you're going. And I mean, like you were saying too, it's Bill Murray. It's classic '80s comedy inside of like a classic, you know, Charles Dickens tale, and it's just, for me, that's just perfect.
Number one.
My
number 1 was on your list. It is Home Alone / Home Alone 2. I grouped those together. Boy, we watched the bejesus out of that when we were kids. Like, that thing just got rewound and played again, you know, a couple times every Christmas. The gags shouldn't still be funny, but they are.
They are, yeah.
They are. Home Alone. The music, you know, anytime I hear Christmas songs on the radio, I tell you that scene, I'm like, That is this scene in Home Alone. This is when he's shaving. Or not shaving, but putting on the aftershave.
Yeah.
You know? It's just ingrained in your head, you know?
It is. My number one is Elf, Will Ferrell, James Caan, that kid. It's just, and like, it's weird because like what you kind of thought was negative is what I kind of find positive, is how quotable it is. Like, I do enjoy doing too many movie quotes, I guess, overloading my friends with movie quotes. It's really well done, and I think we've talked about it before, how it's kind of a nice, childish Christmas movie for adults.
Yeah.
You know? Like, it's got the stupid humor in there, and it's got the, the Christmas mystique to it all.
It's got the heart, the message.
Exactly. It's got a love story even, come on. But it's very, there's, I don't want to say adult humor, but there's, like the lingerie scene and stuff.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah. So just really well done movie. I saw it in the theaters when it came out, like opening weekend, many moons ago. And yeah, it's my number one.
And I don't think the quotable movie is bad. I think it just takes away from the jokes when you're watching it.
Yeah.
When you've
because
heard
you
it
hear
all
them
year.
all year long.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't think being a quotable movie is bad. I think it's excellently written jokes and very well done.
It's just when it's all year long. And I'm totally guilty of doing it all year long. So.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. Let's move on to our quote. We had a very difficult quote last week. As far as we know, it was probably only in the director's cut. So I honestly could not even find the clip. So I will tell you the quote. It was, I don't mind being the smartest man in the world. I just wish it wasn't this one. So, not being able to find the clip, we even got a winner. It was Brad Kwame.
Brad Kwame on Facebook. Whoop, whoop.
He nailed that one.
He did.
And it was
Bonus
very difficult.
points. Bonus
very
points.
difficult.
5 billion Mancave points.
Not to be redeemed until 2015.
Good call.
Yeah. So, good job, Brad. We have a Christmas quote for you this week, of course. So, if you know what movie it is, go ahead and type it up in response. Our quote is, "Blast this Christmas music. It's joyful and triumphant."
It's never a good combo.
That's tough. Yeah. Tough this time of year. So, Jared.
You can find us on Facebook.com/moviesandmancave or Twitter.com/mancavemovies, moviesandmancave.airyvoices.com, or YouTube.com/mancavemoviereview. I read them all.
And we're back. All right. We have got movies galore this week. It must be a Christmas thing. People like going to movies on Christmas. I've never been that type of family. If you don't enjoy your family's company, I can understand. Let's just go to a movie and then we don't have to talk. True. But, the family kind of gets along, so we don't really go that route.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I'm going to go down the list and tell me what you think. Girl with the Dragon Tattoo comes out this week.
Interested. I will probably go see it in the cheap seats.
I'm somewhat interested. I hear all these great things, but I just really don't know.
It's Daniel Craig. That's about all.
That's good. But it's supposed to be a great movie. Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol.
Definitely going to see.
Extremely interested. This looks like the best Mission Impossible yet. I really loved 1. I really loved 3. 2 was whatever.
I like 2.
But if it continues as to what 3 was, going to be an awesome, awesome movie. I don't know. I love the music and the previews. That always gets me amped up too for whatever reason. So
Simon Pegg.
Super excited for this.
Yeah, very good.
Adventures of Tintin. I
am excited to see that movie. I probably won't see it in theaters, but I watched the cartoon. Again, we had HBO growing up, and it was kind of like it was Saturday mornings, like they would replay the old cartoon.
Okay. But it was like a book or a comic or something before that, wasn't it?
I believe it was a comic book strip series type thing. Sorry. But yeah, he's kind of like a young Sherlock / Indiana Jones.
And that's what they've compared it to, is Indiana Jones, and it's directed by Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
So that's why everybody's kind of like, well, it's Indiana Jones, but animated type.
Yeah, and the animation looks sweet. So.
Yeah, I watched the preview, and boy, that stuff looks crystal clear. Yep. Crystal clear. Let's keep it rolling. We bought a zoo.
Let's keep it rolling.
I'm a Matt Damon fan. That does not interest me at all. The Darkest Hour.
I don't know what to think about that. It looks like it'd be all right, but I'm not really grasping what it's about from the previews.
It's like aliens that suck up power, and I think that's why it's called Darkest Hours, because we have no more lights. type of deal. I'm a guy who loves a great visual movie. You know,
Yeah.
I'm so happy we live in the movie age that we do, that we get things like Transformers that are just visually knock your socks off, and that's what the preview looks like.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea if the movie's gonna be any good. Maybe they're only showing you the best 10 seconds of when they're dissolving people.
Like Skyline.
yeah.
It showed you like the best 5 seconds.
And
of
that movie ended up being trash.
Garbage.
So this one probably will end up being trash, but at the same time, I want to see it just to intake some of that visual.
It'll probably
goodness.
be a renter down the
Yeah, yeah. Okay, and finally, the last movie I think we'll mention, yeah, I know, is War Horse.
I am sort of curious to see that movie. The first preview we saw was on Real Steel,
Maybe, yeah.
I think it was, and it was like a 3-minute long trailer with like 2 words in it, and it just like tugs on the heartstrings. It's got this horse running through a battlefield, going back to its owner, and I'm like, ASPCA style.
Oh, yeah. Tear up.
I know.
Another Spielberg movie. So he's got
Yeah,
2
he's
opening up
like-
in one weekend. Well,
That was a long list.
it was a long list. We should have done Naughty or Nice if we liked it or not.
Ah.
Duh.
Ah.
I'm not starting the episode over so that we can do that.
Oh well.
Well, we won't be posting a mini episode this week because it would go up on Saturday, and I hope you have better things to do on Christmas Eve than spend time watching us
For real.
try to review movies. So find something better to do, please.
Yeah.
If not, you always have our reruns out there you can watch anytime, I
It's
guess.
true. We got like 57 videos.
We will see you next week. Merry Christmas, everybody.
He needs
This
to
is kind of
roll.
how I envisioned the pitch for this movie. Like Steven Spielberg dials up, "Hey, movie executive, it's me, Steve-O.
It's Steve.
Say, I'm doing Saving Private Ryan 2. Give me Tom Hanks." What's that? Tom Hanks is doing a stupid college movie with what's her face?
Julia Roberts.
Julia Roberts. Yeah. Well, that's fine. If he can do a movie with horse, I'll do one too.
Oh.
War Horse. Boom. Done.
Oh, the horse, because she's a horse. Face.
That was long and dumb, but
It was funny.
it sounded better in my head.